to this amazing place. Thank you for the Turkish-Japanese Foundation just allocating this place for us. To our conference on climate crisis, climate justice, and women, organized within the framework of the International Women's Day. On this occasion, actually we celebrate the strength, leadership, and achievements of women, but we also gather to reflect on the most urgent challenges facing humanity, climate crisis. Our planet is not only our home, it's also the home of many other living beings. Protecting it is therefore not only an environmental concern, it is a shared responsibility toward all life on Earth. When we examine the current situation, we see clearly that many environmental problems are largely a result of human activities. This reality also carries an important message. If human actions have contributed to the problems, then human choices can also be the part of the solution through responsible decisions, cooperation, and innovation. In this transformation, women play a vital role. Across cultures and throughout history, nature has always been personified as feminine, such as Mother Earth, Mother Nature, reflecting ideas of care, nurture, and protection, qualities often associated with women. This may partly stem from the fact that women often take on caregiving roles within families and communities, which often brings them into the direct contact with the everyday impacts of environmental change. This connection is clearly visible in the field of the food production. According to the research by the United Nations, women are responsible for about half of the world's food production. And in developing countries, this figure rises to as much as 80%. Women also play a critical role during times of crisis, being the first responders, protecting vulnerable communities and supporting recovery efforts. In wealthier countries, women are powerful agents of change as consumers, workers, and leaders. At the household level, women are often more likely to recycle, reduce waste, choose sustainable products, and conserve water and energy. At the political level, countries with greater representation of women in their parliament are more likely to adopt stronger environmental policies and ratify international environmental agreements. Similarly, in the business sector, gender-diverse companies tend to demonstrate stronger environmental governance and invest more actively in renewable energy and energy efficiency. However, women still remain largely underrepresented in the decision-making process. In this respect, empowering women in climate action is not only an issue of equality, it's a key element in achieving effective and sustainable climate solutions. It's therefore particularly fitting that today we have the honor of welcoming our distinguished keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Süheyla Suzan Gökal. She has extensive experience in environmental and climate-related issues in Turkey, and her work includes important studies on protected areas, environmental impact assessment, environmental governance, and environmental law, and much more. We are confident that her valuable insight and experience will deepen our understanding of the climate crisis and inspire us to reflect further on our shared environmental responsibility. Thank you very much for joining us today, and I wish you all an insightful and inspiring conference. And with your permission, I'd like to invite the professor here to make her presentation. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's a great honor to be here with you today about one of the challenging, defining challenges of our time, climate change, and urgent need for climate justice contributors who worked with great effort and care to make this event possible. Especially thanks to my friend Emine Güneş, reality that is already affecting ecosystems, economies, and communities around the world. Climate change is one of the most urgent challenges of our time, but its impacts are not experienced equally. Climate change is also the greatest threat to human rights in 21st century. This statement reminds us that climate change is not only an environmental issue, but also a matter of justice. This is where climate justice becomes essential. Climate action is not only
the role of women in decision making on local level or in rural areas, because I guess it might be more challenging. How do you promote? And since when, maybe also interesting. What's the history?
But yes, there are many international laws from the EU, from NATO, from OECD. You can, actually list them all here with the international agreements, with the national agreements. Who belongs to these international agreements? Who, ratified? Who doesn't ratify? Yes, these are very important. But at the same time, it's like we have to keep our hopes up, because this is the world that we live in. Yes, there will be crisis. There will be more war. And this will not end, apparently. And if it will end, it's not very soon. So as I think the individuals, what we have to do is try to be fair to the world that we live in. So we cannot really give up. We have to actually teach our children, teach our next generations that, this is our world, and really, we live in an inequality, but we have to try and make it better. Yes, we have lots of mining issues, we have, cutting the forests. We have injustices in the women, men who is, actually more, have the ability to reach the natural resources. But still, we should actually keep our hopes up. Otherwise, we can't go on. So thank you for your insightful information and presentation today. I know that it's not easy these days to keep the hopes up, but still, we have to. And then this world, we love. And the next generations, they depend on us. So I hope, everybody can do, if we can do our own share, and we can expect from the others that, they can do their own share. So again, thank you for your participation. Thank you for listening us. Thank you for being with us today. And for the better world, we will work together. And with the lawyers, with the environmental lawyers, with the activists, with the ordinary citizens, we have to work together. And this is what, as Professor said, educated or not, there are activists in our country, in Turkey. You can see on the news that many activist women in the rural areas, they are trying to protect their land, because they actually livelihoods from their lands. And in educated cities, there are women who are organized in associations, in foundations, and trying to create the pressure group to the government, to the states, to the international environment, to the international arena, that to voice themselves. That's why they organize. But from different fields of work, every woman are trying to find their own way. And that's why, when I started my speech saying that, it's the mother earth. So we know how to care. And that's why the woman is an important and vital part of this decision making. Because we do care, and this is how our metabolism, how we have been created in this world. So when you hear that, women are more carers than the others, yes, we are, because we are a little bit, feminine character in ourselves, and we feel like responsible for the next generations as well. So I hope this responsibility also, goes to the men's world, so that they can do a better world for not only themselves, but for the men, women, girls, boys, and all the living in this world. So with this, wish, I just wanted to say again, thank you for your participation, and see you.